Let me tell you something American schools rarely teach. Before colonization, the Americas were not empty, wild, or waiting to be discovered. They were full of cities, nations, advanced sciences, and trade networks that stretched from the Arctic all the way down to Chile. So let's walk through what the Americas were actually like before Europeans arrived, the land, the people, the culture, and the truth they tried to erase. First, they weren't called America. That name didn't show up until European mapmakers renamed the continents after Amerigo Vespucci. Indigenous people had their own names. Many northern nations called the land Turtle Island. In Central and South America, the Guna people called it Abya. The Aztec Empire called their world Anahuac. The Inca Kingdom called their territory Tahuantinsuyu. And the Taino of the Caribbean called their islands Haiti, Quisqueya, and Bohio. These continents weren't one place. They were hundreds of homelands with their own identities. Before colonization, the Americas were home to tens of millions of indigenous people belonging to over 2,000 to 3,000 nations. From the Arctic Inuit to the Mapuche in Chile, this hemisphere was packed with cultures, languages, governments, scientists, farmers, and city builders. Examples: Cahokia in southern Illinois was larger than London in the year 1100. Tenochtitlan, the Aztec capital, was one of the world's biggest cities. The Inca ran a 25,000-mile road system through the Andes. The Maya mastered mathematics, astronomy, and writing. The Puebloans engineered water systems in the desert. The Americas were as advanced as Rome, Egypt, and China, but textbooks rarely admit it. Before colonizers carved up the land with borders, deeds, and property lines, the Americas were 42 million square kilometers of indigenous territory. There were no United States, no Canada, no Mexico, no Chile, no state lines or ownership papers. Land wasn't something you bought. It was something you stewarded, seasonally, communally, spiritually, and responsibly. Indigenous travel was advanced and global in scale. Birch bark canoes in the Great Lakes, ocean-ready dugout canoes in the Caribbean, kayaks in the Arctic, llama caravans in the Andes, massive river systems used like highways, footpaths that later became U.S. interstates. The Inca alone built a road network rivaling Rome, bridges, tunnels, and all. The Americas were a giant trading ecosystem. Goods moved thousands of miles. They traded corn, beans, squash, potatoes, quinoa, chili peppers, obsidian, copper, mica, jade, textiles, pottery, jewelry, feathers, shells, sacred herbs, knowledge, stories, marriage alliances, diplomacy. Cahokia in Illinois traded seashells with Florida and copper with the Great Lakes. Amazonian nations traded with Andean nations. Caribbean nations traded across open ocean. This hemisphere was connected long before Europe even knew it existed. Indigenous life was rich, structured, and diverse. Cities with plazas, markets, and neighborhoods. Farmers producing surplus food. Astronomers tracking stars. Architects building mounds, pyramids, roads. Master artisans crafting stone, wood, pottery, and textiles. Ceremonies tied to seasons, stars, and community. Governments ranging from confederacies to kingdoms. Women held power in many societies, from clan mothers in the north to priestesses in the south. From top to bottom, the Americas looked like this: Inuit, Yupik, Kalaallit in the Arctic, Dene, Cree, Anishinaabe in the subarctic, Lakota, Comanche, Cheyenne in the plains, Cherokee, Creek, Seminole, Shawnee in the woodlands, Navajo, Apache, Hopi, Zuni in the southwest, Haida, Tlingit, Salish along the Pacific, Maya, Aztec, Zapotec, Olmec in Mesoamerica, Inca, Aymara, Mapuche in South America, Arawak, Taino, Kalinago in the Caribbean. Every region had its own innovations and lifeways. So before colonization, the Americas were not wild. They were not simple. They were sophisticated, interconnected, thriving civilizations with their own names, sciences, cities, and systems, long before the word America ever existed. When we tell the truth about this land, we honor the people who shaped it. And we understand that indigenous history isn't lost. It's still here, in the land, in the stories, and in the nations that survived. I'm the mad historian. Stay curious, stay bold, and keep uncovering the truths they tried to bury.